evening, Americans. This is your favorite alien and Bubba here on Sunday, October 27th. And I thought I was done with the commentaries on the impeachment, but seems like every time the Democrats turned up another rock someplace that, wow. Okay, so here is a commentary, so here it goes. Dear Americans, well, this weekend, the Democrats finally did something right. They went to a judge to see if the impeachment inquiry, was legal. And the judge ruled it's legal. But he didn't rule it's constitutional. There's a difference. And here's why, Americans. When you set up your government with your Constitution in 1789, every year after that, your legal system and your constitutional system develop a schism. One went one way, the other one went the other way. Kind of like left and right. You know, like you got your leftist Democrats and your rightist Republicans. Well, that's the same way with the two systems here. And here's the problem. Article 2, Section 4 on impeachment is vague because the founding fathers made the Constitution vague so that succeeding generations, when they encountered this, they would set a precedent for it, and you would think that they would go on there. If they had to do it again, there's a precedent for it. Now, 1868, under Andrew Johnson, was a farce. It was never a precedent. 1974, under Richard Nixon, is a precedent. 1998, under Clinton, was not a precedent. It was like 1868, a farce. Republicans trying to hell-bent their way over. Same thing as 2019 is not a precedent. It's a farce. With the Democratic don't knowing what they're doing on impeachment. And here's the problem that you have. They got a court to say it's legal. Now they should get a federal, like I say, appeals court to say it's constitutional. And here's the problem, especially you impeachment-minded House Democrats. In 1868, 1974, and 1998, hold on, there's a fat cat. Hold on, Bub. A fat cat's back. Oh, you Democrats, every time I mention your name, I see a fat cat come in here. That is terrible. You guys are ruining the reputation of Bubba here. He is anti-fat cat. Well, getting back to our thing here. Like I said, 1868, 1974, and 1998. It was impeachment of the president. And in 1868, there was no vice president. In 1974, most of the staff was gone, so President Trump was not around when the deeds were done, and he didn't participate in any deeds. So that's why he was off the hook. In 1998, you went after Clinton for hanky-panky. And of course, the court says hanky-panky is legal in the White House, because he got exonerated. So that makes it legal in the White House, hanky-panky. And the Supreme Court, the judge, didn't say anything about the ruling. That the Senate came around when they said not guilty. So if Chief Justice Roberts didn't chime in on that, then we know that's right. But here in 2019, the reason I'm saying, Americans, that this is finally got ruled legal, but it has not been ruled constitutional, it's because this Congress, House of Representatives Impeachment Inquiry, is going after the entire administration. So not only do they have to impeach President Trump, they have to impeach Vice President Pence, who, according to all their stuff that they're showing, knew about the phone call. Some say listened to the phone call. And knew about Mr. Trump's other stuff that was going on with the travel ban, with the Ukraine mess, Turkey mess, probably. Yeah, because he was over there as an envoy to Turkey, remember? Trying to get this set up. So that didn't vote for him. If I were him, I would have advised him not to go to that trip in Turkey because that puts him right smack in the crosshairs, which he is right now. So here you are, Democrats. You got a problem with impeachment because you got to impeach both the president and vice president as the administration, because that's what you're going after here. You're not going after President Trump. Your subpoenas say otherwise. And this is what makes it unconstitutional if you go into a high court. You never set the precedent of what you're going after. You're going after President Trump? Well, stick with President Trump. But you're not going after President Trump. You're going after the administration. So that means that you got to impeach president and vice president along this. Is that really what you want, Democrats? Really? And my call is to the Supreme Court and the courts of appeals, no matter which one you go to. Judges and justices, you have to sit there and tell the House Impeachment Committee and the House altogether, especially Pelosi, that they're overstepping their bounds here. They never set a precedent. They never went to the Supreme Court to see if there was a precedent here. And this is what you have to do because you're going after the administration. In previous impeachment trials and proceedings that you had, the vice president was a nominal figure. And it was always President Clinton, hanky-panky, just him. President Nixon, well, Agnew resigned with other matters that he had that he got called for. Vice President Gerald R. Ford was done after the fact in November 1993, if I remember right, or 73, pardon me. November 1973, and therefore the impeachment proceedings had almost started about then for Mr. Nixon. And Mr. Ford was a nice guy that he decided not to meddle in the situation and stay as far away as he could. Mr. Pence, on the other hand, has been the right-hand man always backing up the president. That causes him to be impeachable. Don't you understand that, Democrats? The Constitution says it in there. That's what the administration is, the administration. Do you really want this? Well, anyway, this is your favorite alien and Bubba saying next step is to make sure this is constitutional. You already proved it's legal, but that doesn't mean it's constitutional. You got to get a ruling from one of the appeals court or a Supreme Court justice ruling that this is constitutional. Anyway, like I said, this is your favorite alien and Bubba. Good day.